All right, man. We're clear from the network. So we're just over here.
This house is clear.
We're over here on YouTube still, though. So, hey, everybody on YouTube, what's going on? Hey, Chad. Hey, Bernays. What's up, AA? What's up, Amber? What is up? Let me see. Cindy's here. Danny, what's going on? Jeremiah. Let me see what else is here. John, of course, is here. You know, John has been here for every show we've ever done, I think. John.
I think so. Across networks, mind you.
I know. John. He's the stalwart of the chat. Gray Bear's here.
First to respond in chat, yeah.
Yeah, Gray Bear's here. Holly's here. Hey, Holly, what's going on, everybody? Spencer. Greg Peterson's here. Zeke. What's going on? Zeke Gutierrez. All right. So, Rock and Rio, are you still there?
Yep.
Are you going to take requests?
I can, yes.
All right, maybe we'll do some requests, because we didn't really. I haven't heard of any good speechifying going on this week. So, hey, Kyle, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Malaya, what's going on? Tiffany, what's happening? Escape from the blue jersey. What's happening? Good to see y'all. What do we got? About 4 more minutes. You can go take a leak if you need to. Get something to drink. Check the perimeter.
I checked the perimeter previous. I snuck
hey,
away.
Alan. What's that?
I snuck away. I got a question for the people here on YouTube, though. Like put yourself in the situation. So you're trying to contact somebody to be, a pretty high-profile person, and you go through them, their official angle of getting there, and then the Church of Satan weighs in, right? and then
well, let's talk a little bit about. Let's talk a little bit about it when we come back.
Well, we don't put this on the air because I think we can still get them. But it's funny because then it becomes like a fan club over in another foreign country, and then
Jill Biden. That's a good one. Jill Biden. Go ahead. And when she called Mexicans tacos,
it's not quite there yet. But the next step is if that organization doesn't respond to you, you're supposed to send a stamped envelope, with the return address and all that to this person who is, involved heavily in the magic community. So would you
quit beating around the bush, man?
A lock of the hair and a drop of blood? I mean,
beating around the bush. All right, hang on. We got to go back.
Okay.
For listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the one place where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio. Let's show them what we got. All right, thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
My name's Jimmy. It's Revolution Radio. That's the Scorpions. The Zoo.
The job is done. I go out. Another boring day. I leave it all behind me now. So many worlds away.
Friday night on the West Coast, Saturday morning on the East Coast, getting a call.
Balls deep with the caller.
Standby 406. It's Saturday morning on the East Coast, Friday night on the West. Friday night on the West Coast, Saturday morning on the East Coast. Hey, 406, you're going to have to turn down your device, if you wouldn't mind.
Dude, it's gaslighting you, man.
406, who are you and where are you calling from? Where'd 406 go?
This is Malia. I'm here. I'm just trying to get I know. Just like
It's crazy, man. It's like a whirlwind of echo and repeating. It's inciting.
Ladies and gentlemen.
all right. That should have shut down everything.
Sounds good. Sounds good now.
Here, right? Can you hear me?
Sort of. You're kind of.
This is Malia.
Hey, Malia, you're sounding kind of.
Is it fuzzy? It's on Skype.
It's all
so.
fuzzy, yeah. Something's up with it. Anyways, what's happening? What's on your mind?
Keep on talking. Let me play with my audio over here.
I'll tell you what.
To say hi.
Hey, what's happening?
And get the chance to say hi to Rio and Jimmy and Bruce and all you guys all together on a Friday night. That's pretty epic.
Yeah. Well,
Pun intended.
Yeah. So,
Totally.
Right, well, thanks for calling, eh? There she goes, Malaya. Thanks for calling, Malaya. So 6269 was Malaya. Be in the chat what day your show is on. She's got a radio show going. So anyway, back to where we were. Where the hell were we? When that break happened, Epic Journeyman was making a point, and I said, hold it right there. Now, did you remember to hold it right there?
Actually, I did think you talked a little bit in the break about something else. I
knew
kind of
it.
remember.
I knew it. That's
let
fine.
me think about it for a minute.
No, that's fine. You know what, man? We'll shift gears in a moment. But Rock and Rio, I saw one of the requests that came through for some reverse. Rock and Rio is going to do some on the spot reverse speech tonight. It doesn't always work.
Oh! I got one.
All right, hold on. I got the first one that came out of the chat room into the microcosm of Jimmy Gene's Strike Zone.
I'm looking for the Jill Biden taco comment.
Right, Jill Biden taco comment.
It's
and then, you know what? There's another one that I would request is the AOC speech when she got insulted about people saying she had a juicy butt.
Oh, she's on the steps. That's a good one. But I'll tell you what, the Paramount Plus is advertising the return of Beavis and Butthead. You got to do Beavis and Butthead, man. You got to do it. Just pick a random clip from old MTV days of Beavis and Butthead. We're just talking about Mike Judge.
I just played a Beavis and Butthead about white privilege, And
it's perfect, man.
I immediately got banned worldwide, and they deleted the video.
Oh, well, then don't do that, I guess.
No, I mean they literally deleted the whole video. They just went, we took it away. That's gone now. Long live the king, or whatever. Right, Bruce? When the king's leg goes bad, the land goes fallow. And then what do? They chop off the head of the king?
Always, 100%.
All right, so
Barrel's power.
So Rockin' Rio is over there in the lab now working on Jill Biden. So that means it's the three of us over here, the Caballeros.
Well, the taco reference ties into the Beavis and Butthead thing, 'cause that came up all the time with Beavis and Butthead. And it just occurred to me that we talk about before speech all the time how the cadence doesn't always match. You know, like the cadence is always what's wrong about it. When you play it backwards, sometimes it's perfect, but other times it's like the thing that's missing is the cadence to make it work. But the Beavis and Butthead, they do that long drawl on the one side, then right, just enough to set that up. I bet you there's something there. I bet you there is. I'll be disappointed if there isn't.
Well, my name's Jimmy.
I never thought about doing Beavis and Butthead before.
No.
Well, why would any of us? Yeah. But
well, there you go. You got three right there. You got the AOC comments about my juicy butt. You have Jill Biden, and you have Beavis and Butthead. Just pick any Beavis and Butthead, but not the white.
The Cornholio one. Chuck called it in the chat. I think that's right. That's a good one. Yeah.
Don't pick the white privilege one though.
No. The Cornholio.
And the bottom.
I am Cornholio. Yeah, that's probably a good one.
The thing it was totally funny too, because they were in this like lecture hall at some junior college or something, and all the people in the class were explaining white privilege to them. And then as soon as they go, well, are you going to change your behavior now? And they're like, yeah. And they went outside. And as soon as they went outside, they just started acting out the white privilege that they just learned about that they didn't know they had before. It was totally it was funny.
Totally brilliant.
It was
one of the best scenes I've seen in a comedy movie in quite some time.
Yeah, that was funny, man. That was funny. And you know what's even funnier is I didn't realize that the whole white privilege psychological operation had started back that far. That's a long time ago.
80s.
No, they went into a time machine, right? So did you watch the whole movie?
No, I'm just talking about the clip.
Oh, Idiocracy? Yeah, several times. I mean, probably dozens of times.
No,
actually.
he's talking about Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh, yeah.
They go on this the Vision Quest trip with the mushrooms, I think it was.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be like the.
It was peyote, I think. Right? It was supposed to be peyote, I think.
What was that hot tub movie?
Hot Tub Time Machine. I have not seen that yet, believe it or not. That's amazing.
Oh my God, that is a classic comedy right there.
Dude, you got to see that.
Must be some kind of hot tub time machine.
You got to see that epic if you haven't seen it. It's good.
I keep saving it for a time I could watch it all one sit through. Right?
It's one of those stupid, brilliant movies like Groundhog Day.
Or Silent Bob and Jay and Clerks. You remember that?
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about, man? Listen to this. You know, do you remember in that movie with Tom Cruise, Risky Business? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you remember the part where he decides to call a hooker?
Yeah.
And he makes his call, and then a hooker shows up at the door, and he lives in an upper class white neighborhood someplace on the East Coast where I don't know specifically, but it was just
Highland Park, Chicago. I believe, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was a Chicago movie. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So the hooker arrives at the door. He opens the door, and it's a 6'2" black woman who turns out to be a man
in a dress.
Right, it turns out to be a man, and that's not why I'm bringing it up.
She's held hostage in Russia right now, right, for some vapor. So never mind.
Well, listen to this. Listen to this. this is the comment that's
dog.
made by that character. He goes, usually up here, this is what all the guys like. So they were introducing this idea back then that, the hot ticket item for all these upper class citizens over there in Highland Park. When they were calling hookers, they were calling trans
girls.
people.
Oh yeah, well they were called even trans people. Yeah, they were.
I'm just saying. Then you go to, and then
Didn't Eddie Murphy get pinched with a tranny in his car too in L.A.?
Yeah,
and then they had, and then you had that movie. You had that movie Clerks.
And Hugh, what's his face, right? Yeah.
No, that was just a straight up big.
It was a straight up
bitch,
hooker, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you had
he
that.
actually earned my respect. Hugh Grant, when he did that.
Right. Hugh Grant.
Divine Brown. Look her up. If that ain't a woman, I don't know what women are. Good on you, Hugh Grant. You're my fucking hero, buddy.
Didn't Hugh Grant get busted with a hooker in Hollywood?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But it wasn't a tranny. It was just a straight up, big ass, big boob woman, man. And I'm thinking to myself, Hugh, enjoy America.
I think she was a woman of color as well.
Oh yeah, Divine Brown, man. Look her up, Divine Brown.
Mm-hmm. Well, the funny part was he was married to what's her face at the time.
Yeah.
That was
super sexy British actress.
Super awesome, beautiful girl, right? Why would you stray from that? And to me, that's why I made the confusion about why it was a transvestite at the first time, because most of these people, like Eddie Murphy's case, are people who can get anybody they want, or even people like musicians like Mick Jagger or something. They digress from the norm because they've had everybody they can have on the opposite of the normal spectrum. So they look for something new and exciting to them, which I thought maybe was Hugh Grant was going for. That's right. No, it was Divine Brown. She ended up posing in Penthouse, which is I have to admit I had to look at it. It's not good. Don't do that. Don't subject yourself to that. But it was strange because there was no reason for him to do that. Like it upset his career. He had a beautiful wife. So at the peak of his career, rising at the time, and to disrupt it that way almost seems like planned opposition, right? I mean, it really does. Like it's like because it's setting up this whole thing. We're seeing now, which I won't get into because the whole show on that. But sorry, I derailed us a little bit. Go back, brother.
But no, yeah. But the thing is then, like I was going to mention, I mean, this has come up a bunch of times in movies for no reason. You know what I mean? This type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, why is it even in there? Well, I mean, what was the point of that scene? Why couldn't they just send the girl who's gonna be the hooker there? You know what I mean? What's her face? I forget her name now, but he said eventually the man tells Tom Cruise, I think give this girl a call, Lana. I think this is what you want. This is what you want.
Rebecca De Mornay, yeah.
Right, and then she shows up. But I mean, what's the purpose of that character even being there in the first place?
Plant a seed. Yeah.
I'm just saying. What the hell am I saying?
That?
Huh? Anyways.
Who directed that?
Wasn't that...
Because that was a groundbreaking movie, but the director had no follow-up. It's like he fell off the earth.
No, actually, well, I'm going to have to look it up now. I should know because I ran the video store at the time. Not when it came out, but afterwards it was still popular. What wasn't that? No, I won't say. I have to look it up. I'm thinking it is actually a director who's pretty famous for teenage kind of movies.
Robert Zemeckis?
No. I'll look it up.
Yeah, that movie was definitely around for a while, and then you had Tangerine Dream and the sex scene on the subway and all that. That was like
Paul Brickman.
That is a great tie-in, Jimmy. That really is. Tangram, the album Tangram was used in that.
Uh-huh.
And that is a fantastic soundtrack, actually.
It is.
People who've never listened to electronic music or Technica, that is really good. And and actually, in a weird counter antithesis to spiritual analog music. It is like something similar to what Legend was, the soundtrack to that. It's yeah.
You're now watching Malia Grimm.
Yeah, fantastic. It really
It is. Okay, we've been joined by Malaya. Malaya, have you fixed your audio issues?
I think that should be much better now, Jim.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear. Yeah, we can hear you.
Are we speaking to the Jinn now? Have we penetrated the Jinn world? Can you take us to your leader?
Yes. Actually, yeah. She's beside me. She hangs around. She's not my Jinn. She's somebody else's.
Okay.
So
I'm not surprised you picked up on her, though.
So what's on your mind? What's on the plate for discussion tonight?
Beavis and Butthead. I think you're onto something with the whole sound frequency thing there, Jimmy.
Could be.
And the reverse speech in it, I think there's definitely.
Rock and Rio's
definitely got something in there.
And
they're bringing it back.
Frontline warfare with the devil. You got to have the skin of an exorcist to do that. Hats off to Rio.
I know he's over there now in the lab. I see him. He's got his suit on there.
Running with the devil.
Wild. All right. Well, it sounds like you got your audio issues fixed. Thanks for calling, Malaya.
Malaya
is there
and
anything else
cast here right now. I got to tell you, the Paul Brickman character is something special. Coming on the heels of the Highland Park shooting, he is known specifically for highlighting Highland Park. He's the son of Shirley and Maury Brickman, and his dad was a cartoonist, and he wrote things like The Bad News Bears, Breaking Training, Deal of the Century, True Crime, Men Don't Leave. But this is his thing, and he highlights Highland Park. How odd is it we brought him up in a case less than a week and a half, 2 weeks away from that shooting?
I know, that's why.
Yeah.
That's into the microcosm for you.
We got some kind of divine synergy. This show has the potential to turn into some kind of hot tub time machine.
I know, it's almost like Columbo.
I have to watch it this weekend, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch that. It's definitely worth your time.
It's about 90% of Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is a better movie. It's more of a classic, but Hot Tub Time Machine is one of my. It's kind of like Caddyshack. It'll become one of your favorite stupid movies, but it's just so well done. Even Chevy Chase is the hot tub cleaner. Like, it's just.
Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can pull up a 55 in the chat. Hell yeah. Come on over and join us in the chat room into the microcosm. Jimmy Gene Strike Zone over there. Bruce McDonald's here. Epic Journeyman's here. Rockin' Rio's in the lab over there working on AOC's Juicy Booty in reverse.
Yeah,
yeah. You know what's...
I got some Jill for you here.
Cool. Listen to this. You know what's really funny? I listened to the guy, what he said to her about... I listened to what he said to her, and then when she came out later and repeated what he said, she added a couple little things in there that he didn't say. And one of the things was...
Who's that, our Pop-Tart from New York?
Yeah, one of the things she added in there was juicy booty. Like, he said I had a juicy booty, but the dude didn't say that.
Oh, really?
Let
me see if I can find her saying that.
It's funny, man. It's funny because I listened to the whole thing where the guy was taunting her. You know, he was saying stuff to her. He's going, woo! Look at her. Look at her in that dress. Woo, yeah.
Oh, this is AOC's Juicy Booty. Oh, so she was harassed by a man.
You're living in your own private Idaho. Living in your own private
the Alex Jones show too, because he was on there running. He was over there running wild with what's his nuts? What's that dude's name? That younger dude. He's always following Alex around everywhere.
I don't
English
remember.
dude or the guy that did the thing with AOC?
No, the guy that did the thing with AOC. He's not a host at the Alex Jones.
Oh, there's even a song about it. Look at that big butt.
She was actually pretty in that. Actually, I have to say, I
She's
said in the
not
chat,
pretty.
No,
Why
but
does
in
everybody
that-
think she's hot?
No, in that particular
Anyway.
clip, she was hot.
The only person who thinks she's hot is her.
I want to see if she says. I mean, because she was
She's
she
not
was a
even
pretty
hot by women's standards.
she was pretty nasty. The last time that you brought her up in reverse, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
She's
For those of you who think she's hot,
she's cakey.
she
as
likes
hell,
to
man.
drink pee and pee on other people. So if you're into
Well,
that,
What are we talking
maybe-
about here?
Allegedly,
AOC, she wore this hot white dress actually, and the guy was harassing her on the steps going into Congress. And actually, she did look way hot.
You
I have to
mean-
say, like as a guy, I'm sorry, she did. She looked pretty.
hey Rio, you mean
pretty
allegedly, right?
Yes, of course.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, yes, of course.
Okay. Owen Schroyer.
All
yeah, that's
reverses
him.
come with the allegedly marker.
That's him. Owen Schroyer.
It is
That's
up
the
to
guy.
interpretation by the listener only.
Yeah, that's right. It's up to you to interpret what you hear. What you
I just
hear
give
here.
you what I think I hear. That's all.
Exactly. But hey, that's the way it rolls. So Malaya, anything else before you go, or do you want to just hang out?
I can't find anything of her saying it though.
I am happy with either. I do want to say a shout out to and happy birthday to Captain. And yeah, his legend live forever. Right on. And I'm like hanging out and chilling in the background with you, Jimmy. Oh, I did want to mention too, you asked about my show. My channel I just launched is LGH Hidden Manuscript TV. It's a travel vlog. I'm headed to Scotland, headed to Rio, I hope, eventually, where I hope to find my hidden manuscript over there. Probably. Maybe in Guatemala. We'll see.
Trippy.
So yeah, that's my channel. Hit it up. It's pretty cool.
Number one in Guatemala. I mean, come on.
Well, thanks for joining us.
I know. I'm pretty sure.
All right, go ahead. Let's get on with it.
We also had things in our daily lives, like if we were going to go on a very long walk to the next campsite, or it was winter and we had to move places. The young children that couldn't walk, we'd carry them and we would give them stuff to keep them calm on the journey so they didn't get stressed and traumatised in any way on the trip. And by the time we got there, they'd be their normal selves. And there's hardly any side effects with natural stuff. But as we've learned through this show tonight, anything that's abused is no good for you. And I think that's why we kind of keep everything secret too. We don't want the populace to abuse these plants and things that we have that are sacred to us and spiritual part of our lives as well as the physical side. So that's my rant for Aussie native plants, hallucinogenic narcotics and medicines. So, okay, what do you think? Not much.
Very
No fun.
interesting.
Well, I have a question. If you don't mind, I have a quick question for you.
Go for it.
For you. So you said that these could affect the body, and then you could go from there to the spirit. Do you think that things in the spirit could affect the body?
Oh, definitely. That's what we look for, and usually it's that way around. You've gone and picked something up spiritually, like Nasei was saying. He saw the alcohol on people, the dark things. You go and pick something up, and we'll look at it and go, okay, what's the nature of your sickness? So we know that the symptom is in your body, you can see it, well, whatever it be. But where's the cause? So then we look at the spirit and see what's going on there, and see if it's running properly and all that stuff. There's many levels to look at. And yeah, we'll normally find it there, fix it in the body, and then the person's okay. There are times where you don't need to administrate anything to the body, you just fix it in the spirit and the body automatically heals itself. We do a lot of that. That's basically how it works. But there are times where it's left to lay and the body's actually showing symptoms of the sickness. So you have to administer something to the body as well. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure Nate
The
Rod's got.
Anishinaabe people, they believe that the existence consists of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And if you think of a circle and then you make an X or a cross on that circle and you have the four spokes, just like that with the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, if those spokes aren't equally strong, then the wheel will not spin properly. And so if any of those are out of tandem, then the others have to take up the slack. And as earlier before the break, they were discussing about putting yourself in another state of consciousness where there are strong evidence scientifically and from verbal statements that when you ingest these different substances, that it assists your pineal gland to basically open up like a portal. And so when you do that, we must take into consideration that a portal works both ways. So if you can leave, then something can come in. And if you reflect on experiences, if they're similar to mine, you've talked to individuals that have gotten over intoxicated, and they'll even go to the fact of identity separation crisis, and they'll be like, oh, that wasn't even me. I'm sorry. Last night, that wasn't me. When we are not acting in our normal capacity, especially when we are inebriated, then it's like, I guess you could even call it dissociative symptom. That, oh no, it wasn't me. I'm sorry. So could it possibly be my people call it a walk-in? In the Christian faith, they call it possession. So could we open ourselves up to the point of where other entities could just pop in?
I'm inclined. I would believe so, but hearing you talk about inebri, it has me wonder, and I'm not. I know nothing of this, but something seems on the word inebri, as an inebriate. What's the origins of that? I feel like there's something that would connect that physical demon to material, to the spirit in the material world, which is us.
Oh, my series, what is the definition of inebriation? No, she's not listening to me anymore.
She's not talking to you today.
Are you talking to me?
No, he's talking to
on it tonight.
Okay. Well, I was gonna jump in there, but then I was like, oh, I need to turn the air conditioner off, and then I was like, no, I just yell. But inebriate, and I think it's definitely a part of the spirit thing linked to the word too, because in inebriation, well, the root of the word is ebb and re, and then it's added eight and in. So, like, Moron is way more professional at this than I am, but he might be able to back me up or help me remember on this one, because it's a strange combination of the root word there, because we have the beb and the rush and the yod, yeah, yod, which is the same thing as beginning. So it like brings you, there it is. Thank you, Moron. Okay, so it brings you back to the beginning, inebriate, to the beginning of life. It supers you back to start, essentially. Well, I think we could link that into spirit, because that is the point of when spirit enters body too. So, what I have seen in the spiritual realm, when somebody becomes inebriated to the point that they're, and I've seen it down in Mexico for sure, it's like a lot more common to see some old Mexican guy stumbling down the street with a tequila in his hand, and he's singing and he's falling every 3 steps. And people just let people like that be. But for me, with the kind of eyes that I have, I see all those spirits, entities, dark things that are not related to humans, living humans or dead humans. These are entities outside of that feed on the living light of a living person. And so what I could see is basically like this vampiric effect, for lack of a better word, where they attach themselves, and it's wide open doors when a person becomes fully inebriated. Wide open doors meaning like anything can come in and feed, because that person has absolutely no defense, like a brand new baby.
It's so true, Malia.
Right,
You know,
right.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say attachments is what you're referring to.
yeah. I remember a client I had a
Now,
clean.
whether or not that's spirit, that's another thing too, probably, because whether or not those spirits normally aren't like entering into your body, they're feeding on you. It's a
They
different
hang on.
kind of entity that would take advantage of you being inebriated and actually possess you. But as far as like I could see in any of those instances, though, as soon as that person came to be, they were able to rid themselves of that spirit by puking, throwing up. When you
I've seen
go
something
into that
different.
throwing up, puking up stage, you're releasing a demon. You're essentially releasing a demon. That's why that makes sense, Luna, what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say before when I was talking about the alcohol. The parasite, when you heat up the body, and when you drink alcohol, you got to eat heavier food and like meat and stuff and a lot of bread to balance. I don't know why, but you get hungry, right? And that's usually the food you eat, or junk food. And then you get parasites. Parasites are akin to demons, and when you throw up, you feel better because you've vomited some of them out. And it's what I feel, the alcohol brings you down to the lower levels of your energy, the lower chakras, people would say. So that's where your mind is. You're thinking there, and you're not reaching that higher level, what other things would give you. I cleaned a house, a client I had once, I had to go and smoke their house out. And I'm smoking the house out, and it's cleaning up as I go, and I'm thinking there's not too much of a problem here. Then I come into the lounge room, and her husband was at work, and I saw that he'd come home, have his dinner and that, and sit down on the lounge and watch TV after he come home from the pub every single night. And when I got out into the lounge room and looked in the corner of the house where he sat, it was like an accumulation of dark things that had come to life. I don't want to describe it anymore because it gives you the heebie-jeebies, some of the things I see. And it sat there in the corner, and I cleaned it away, And that's when I realised it had come to life, because it sort of said to me, I'm here and I'm attached to him. And I'm like, oh shit, it's just this. Every time he does it, it's accumulating, and he sits in it every night. And that was the problem. The problem wasn't a spirit in the house. The problem was that energy becoming its own spirit kind of thing. And there was nothing I could do about it unless he stopped drinking and going to the pub. What was I supposed to do? So I cleaned the house and said, that's the best I can do. I couldn't really get into the problem and like that because it was a personal thing, you know. So I left it at that. I maintained the house to that little area and tried to maintain that energy in one little area, and that was the best I could do. So that's how I saw it, and it is like an outside attachment. But the inside one is, I believe, the parasites, because they have a mind of their own. And then you get on to this regular thinking of the parasite thinking, I call it. That's my rant. See, I'm ranty
So the
today.
so the energy could create an actual entity, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the accumulation, because he'd go to the pub, right, and he's probably gone on these strippers and all that. Who knows what people get up to when they do that sort of stuff, right? It's all that lower energy, and those dark things love that energy. So he'd go, he's picking it up every single, how many nights a week he goes to the pub and picks it up and brings it home, or however many nights he does whatever he does and brings it home drunk while he's drunk. You know, that's what I saw. It had accumulated and come to its own life, and it had like a cord attached to him where he sat in the chair, and he'd come home and it would go. Yeah, it was just, well, it was a spinny thing to see, and I didn't have a right to remove it because it would only come back anyway. I'd clean it all up, and then because it's got to do with him and he weren't there, it was actually him that I needed as a client, not the wife and the house. It was actually him, but he didn't come to me to be a client, so there was nothing I could do about it.
So
So yeah,
have you seen what the parasites look like? The parasites you speak of?
um, I've been studying that, and they say we'll jump in on this through the parasite thing. Yeah, I suppose I see them, but I don't like see them like they see sort of them creatures on people. I see them a different way, brother. I'll look at a person and their stomach area will emit certain, how could I explain, energy and vibration, and it'll form a picture, and I'll realise that area is out of balance. And as I look in, it'll tell me whether their lifestyle is not good for them, what they eat and drink, and they've got parasites and that. Then I can move out into their energy and see what effect it has there. And that's more like what I saw with that previous client, the outside energy and what effect it has. I would hate to see what his body looked like, but anyway, yeah, I do see it. I see the effects it has. I actually seen them out?
The heavy things is what you're saying, I guess. Yeah.
Well, not just that. It's like if you're an empath and you have some of that, it's like you need to know how to block, because if not, then people that are empaths that start doing that, you see them start acting rather weird because they're not blocking and they are becoming the other people around them. You know, it's one of those, you have to keep an eye on it all. Everything that you take into your body, you have to be aware of what it does, how it does it, and the consequences. This has got the least amount of consequences, in my opinion, but at the same time, for empaths, you have to be a little careful with it. That's all.
So would that be considered as a crutch
sure.
because we supposed to have the power within to do whatever, I guess. So like I guess with being empathic, would it be better to have to train yourself to block out certain stuff or no? If that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also about recognition. You cannot block that you do not recognize, and some people are too afraid to recognize. Their
Right.
fear stops them from blocking what needs to be blocked.
Gotcha.
Oh, by the way, Luna, I do have poems for the end.
Thank you, Buzz. And Buzz, it's really great to hear some of your wisdoms there, and I'd love to hear more of them because I knew it was in you, but you just had to get it out.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'll add to that, Buzz, it's so true, because if anyone notices,